Hello everyone. I decided to do a voiceover this time, which I'd like to do more of at some point, talking more about the art, but today I'm going to talk a little bit about my week because it has been a long one. Just a heads up, I will be talking about medical related stuff, so if you don't like that kind of thing, you can mute me or catch the next one. Everything started on Sunday. My daughter woke up with a fever and we had to go to the clinic. It turned out she had some kind of sinus infection. At the same time, my grandmother woke up and had blood in her urine, so she ended up at the ER. It turned out she had a severe UTI and kidney stones, so she ended up being admitted to the hospital. Whenever my grandma's in the hospital, everything becomes 100 times more complicated. There was a lot of running back and forth on top of trying to keep my daughter comfortable. She is normally excited to be sick and get out of school, but this one really hit her and she was napping a lot. She was supposed to be good enough to go back to school by Thursday, but she woke up that morning with pink eye, so we found ourselves back at the clinic, and that was fun. It was just a lot of running and worrying all week. It's kind of a miracle I even had time to get this batch of chibis done, but I'm glad I was able to. My queue has been a little bigger than usual due to emergencies I had to cover with my senior dog. So working in batches like this has been really helpful. But yeah, my grandmother came home on Saturday and she's doing better. We just have a lot of follow-up appointments to do with several different people. And my kiddo's back at school today and everything seems to be calming down. I'm glad everyone's feeling better. That's kind of the most important thing. So, yeah, I thought the story would run longer, but this recording is pretty long since I've been working in batches. I sure hope you guys aren't tired of chibis yet because I have a lot more to do. Like I said, my queue has been a little longer than I would like. I've finally got it under 40 though, which is pretty awesome. I've had a queue that was 60 people long before in the past, and I told myself I'd never let that happen again. It's always emergencies that do this to me, and I guess underselling myself too. That's kind of what did it this time too. I was in a slump and I just thought if I charged less, I'd stress less about things being perfect. I guess it worked in that sense, sort of. I still kind of, I don't know. I just tend to start putting more details into things and just, anyway. But, I still found myself stressed about other things instead, and I just wasn't drawing fast enough to make enough money to get by, so I definitely learned a lesson. That's kind of what freelancing feels like to me, just a bunch of lessons learned. I don't know if any of you are also struggling with a larger workload than you intended to, but if you haven't tried working this way, I definitely recommend giving it a shot. It's really useful because by the time you're on your last sketch, you've left the first sketch alone long enough to look at it with fresh eyes, which can be really useful during the lining phase. I love that about this process. I also like that if I'm struggling with one character's face or pose or hand or whatever it is, I can just move to a different character and line it, then revisit the one giving me trouble. You might have seen me do that a couple times in this video. It just keeps me moving forward, which is what anyone needs when they have a lot of work on their plate. I used to be really good at fighting with one drawing and wasting a whole day instead of jumping to a different commission that I might have actually been able to finish. It was bonkers. Um, I shouldn't have ever done that, and if you do that, you shouldn't do it either. None of us should do that. You probably saw me redraw the head on the cute little cloud character a million times too. That is another weakness I have that I'm working on. I always want to make something work, so I'll waste a lot of time trying to make it work when it's just not gonna. Um, Finally, I realized what I was doing, and I ended up just resketching parts of it, and to me it looks a lot better, like, I don't know, like it was meant to be. And the client really liked it, and I like it, so I'm glad I made that call. I think the hardest part of this batch was the coloring, which is really strange. I usually really love to color things, and that part is always just smooth sailing, but my brain was really struggling. I think it was probably just stress related and my head being somewhere else altogether, but I managed to push through the block and get them all done, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, I've been rambling on forever. If y'all like this sort of video, please feel free to tell me in the comments or leave me a thumbs up. I'm definitely open to suggestions and feedback. I promise my next video will be a little more upbeat and even more art related. This was kind of just for fun and spontaneous. I didn't even know I was going to do a voiceover until I got the video in my editing program, and I thought, why not? So, thank you for listening and watching my videos. I really do appreciate everyone's support, and I guess that's all for now. Bye.